Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe button. Press the subscribe button. Yes, you. Press the subscribe.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Unpopular Opinion. I am your host, Shawan Burns. In today's episode, we got stories about Mayor Eric Adams. We do have a story about Super Bowl. Kanye West got online to give his take on Kendrick Lamar's um, performance. So we got a lot of stories that we want to talk about. Without further ado, we are going to bring up our super producer. Super producer, are you with me?
I am. Good morning. How you
Good morning. Good
doing?
morning. Hey.
The crowd is a little rowdy. Sorry. Y'all calm down.
crowd is the crowd is a little rowdy.
Well, Chicago is bracing for a huge storm today. It is absolutely dark outside, like night. Well, not night, but like dusk.
Yeah.
Supposedly, we're going to get 4 to 7 inches. It's supposed to snow from 10 a.m. till 11 p.m. I'm confused as to how that's just 4 to 7 inches, but okay.
Over here, it's supposed to start this afternoon. We supposed to get up to 8 inches.
Yeah, so I'm confused. I feel like yeah, this gonna hopefully not. I would rather it just be dark and y'all can get the 8 inches. We can just be
And just be dark
we
outside.
got business. We got business to take care of. We don't need none of that. People need to get out and do this early voting.
Look, I'm filling out my grocery orders right now, so because I ain't
I've been did that. I think if it doesn't start snowing, if it's not snowing after we get off here, I'm gonna run to the store, to the pharmacy, because I gotta pick up some medication. And yeah, I'm coming right back because I got everything in the last 2 days: water, juice, food. Don't knock on my door for nothing because I ain't got no extra. Eggs is crazy high.
Right. Girl, I gotta hide the juice and the snacks from my kids because they'll see it. You know, boys, they'll see it. They eat everything in one day.
That's my son. But we got plenty of snacks. I bought donuts, cakes yesterday, chips. Please don't come and knock on my door for nothing because I'm going to try to be under the covers. I got work to do, but I'm going to be under the covers for a few hours. I'll see y'all later.
I hear you.
They started laying the kids out for school last night.
So they did?
I think they're doing remote learning today and maybe possibly Thursday.
I know Thursday, I told my son he was trying to stay home today. I was like, nah, you probably ain't going to school tomorrow, so you might as well get this one day in.
I know that's right. Anybody in the comments want to say anything this morning?
Anything?
Hey. Okay. I'm not going to call out nobody today. We moving on. And we moving on.
Okay.
Your first story. It says court rules against mom who sued after being banned from volunteering at school because she was on OnlyFans.
Yes. This is really interesting. I just don't understand. This Victoria Trice, she's 33 from Florida, claims her children's school district violated her rights by prohibiting her from volunteering at school activities. And then the Florida court ruled against her. Now, she's trying to sue, or she was trying to sue Orange County Public Schools for about $1 million. And allegedly told her 2 years prior, the district allegedly told her 2 years prior that she could no longer volunteer at the elementary school in Orlando, where her children attends. She has a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old. And the ban came after the parents sent an anonymous email to the principal about Trice's account on an adult website, along with 2 pictures of her. So I don't know how you feel about this. I think they have the right to ban her. But you know, then I feel like, okay, well, whatever she does privately, maybe maybe that's her business. So I know they want to protect the kids, but maybe she was selling feet on OnlyFans. I'm not, they be selling some weird stuff on OnlyFans just because.
First of
Just
all, that's a whole separate website. First of all, now you convoluting topics.
No, what I'm saying.
I'm gonna let you finish your dissertation, but I just had to say that that's a whole different website. It has its own.
They sell feet too. You could get feet pics on the web.
That's his
You
own
could get feet
personal
pics
website.
on OnlyFans.
You convoluting it too. OnlyFans and the feet site is different.
But so I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this one. I know I probably would feel something type of way if my kids went to the school, and you volunteering. So, but hey, porn people, they have kids. I guess they need education, and they should be able to volunteer at the school. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this.
Now this your story. You don't even know how you feel about it.
I
Good
don't
morning,
know
Foxy
because
Roxy.
I
How
look
are
at her
you?
as she doing what she got to do to pay the
This is
bill.
interesting. I'm just looking. This is interesting. So you okay? So me personally,
Mhm,
get out this woman's business.
mhm.
Get out this woman's business because y'all need to be more concerned about these teachers sleeping with these students. That's what you need to be
Exactly.
more concerned
Exactly.
about. Okay,
Yeah.
you need to be concerned about these students sleeping with these students
Yeah.
in these stairwells and in these bathrooms,
Hmm.
in on these stages and in these empty auditoriums.
And then these teachers be on something different, right?
You need to be worried about hiring these SA offenders as these janitors.
Hmm.
That's what you need to be worried about, okay? And
Hmm.
for the person who snitched, how dare you?
And,
You
and
mad
you
because you couldn't do it?
and you
Are you
on
mad because you
OnlyFans
couldn't do it?
too.
What you doing looking?
Yeah, what you doing on OnlyFans? That's
How
what I'm
did you
saying.
know?
Like,
How
how
did
did
you
you
know?
know?
Because OnlyFans ain't advertised. So how did you
Exactly.
know?
They don't advertise, so that means you were scrolling.
Now you sitting up there stalking this woman. Good morning, Nene. Your sister so rude. She saw you. She didn't even stop.
Nene know what time it is.
You gets the smoke on this show for some reason. Yeah, so get out this woman's business. What she do in her private business is none of your business. And as long as she not in there telling the kids they need to get OnlyFans,
Right, right.
I don't see
She
why she
ain't
couldn't volunteer at her children's school. It's not like y'all don't need volunteers because y'all do with all them hard-head children in there. And the
right.
teacher's exhausted and don't want to deal with them. Now you got the teachers beating the kids up and throwing the kids across the room and putting the
Screaming at the
kids in the trash
kids.
can.
They screaming. My son told me
Now,
that his teacher be screaming at him. Like
and
she's
y'all, now
always
y'all,
angry.
so now y'all over there judging. Now y'all over there judging. Go judge your bald headed mama and leave these people alone. Tell your mama get her edges back
Right.
and leave these people alone. This lady is taking care of her children. Now you didn't say nothing about her children was not eating, was dirty,
No.
wasn't dressed properly.
No.
See, that's what you should be concerned about, the well-being of the child. That's what you should be concerned about. Y'all got too many issues over there in these schools to be worried about what people are doing in their personal life.
In their private life.
And I'm gonna say again, for the person who snitched, what you jealous? You jealous? You can't do it.
They
You
mad.
jealous? We don't want to look at your raggedy body.
Or her husband
Okay,
was
her
looking
husband.
at her husband like, oh, what you doing over there?
That husband was probably a member, and she saw it on the
Right.
she saw it on the credit card statement.
Like, what you doing?
She saw that on the credit
That's
card
what
statement.
happened.
Now, go check your husband.
Yep.
and leave this woman alone.
The husband was fine
Okay, go check
finding
your
out
husband.
what
That
did.
woman don't know your husband looking. Okay, she's doing her job.
She's doing her job.
My mama said, my grandma used to say, if you go looking for something, you gonna find it.
You gonna find it.
And listen, you absolutely found what
They
you was looking
found
for. That husband was in that OnlyFans. Cause
it.
how in the world you don't know this mom from Adam unless you her best friend, and then it's even more treacherous. Crazy. That ain't got nothing to do with this lady volunteering. She probably was a great volunteer. But go ahead on,
And
knock
all the
yourself
kids
out,
probably
and
like
let the teachers keep whooping up on your kids and punching your kids like they grown people. Okay, because let me tell you, if my kids were still in school and somebody punched my son's special needs, somebody punched my son, like some of these teachers been punching on these kids.
that's what's going on in Illinois.
That school will be renamed after my son.
They hitting kids in Illinois?
Probably somewhere. Probably something, because everything don't make the news. But some of these other places that are making the news, they're hitting these kids. That should never ever be a thing. But these teachers, I feel like they are taxed with all of these kids in their class, because it's a teacher shortage all over the country. So now you go from 10 to 15 kids in your class to 20 to 25 kids in your class. That's very stressful. So yeah, worry about your mom getting her edges back.
Right.
Yeah, you do that. Okay, because now, and they shouldn't have ruled against this woman, because it's her right to volunteer. If I was her, I'd take my kids out of that school. I'd take my kids right out of that school, and I would be like, no, thank you. And then I'll sue the school district after a year. If she, puts them in private school, I'll sue this. If she do homeschooling, I'll sue the school district for my money for each one of my children, and say, oh no, you could pay it directly
to my private school. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because that's crazy. I don't even know. That's a biased courtroom, if you ask me.
Yeah, that was unfair, I think.
That was crazy. Absolutely crazy. Worrying about what this woman doing. Cracking me up. Yeah, I want to know what the email said. I wish they had printed the email. That thing that turned me a little bit. Because if I was the principal,
what's she doing? But they very cliquish in those schools too.
Yeah, if I had read that email, I would
very cliquish.
I would have typed that parent back and said, "This is absolutely none of the school's business."
Because I had to snap at the principal before. They tried to give my oldest son suspension for something he said, and I was like, hold up, you ain't about to do that. You trying to my son is a student. He's advanced in like all STEM stuff. You're not about to put that on my son's record,
right?
So they hate when I come up there or they hate to see my emails, because I type an email in a minute and CC everybody in the school.
Not CCing folks.
Yep, girl, everybody
CC me in this email. CC me in this email.
In the school district, I sure will. You ain't playing about my kids.
Yeah, when I hate to say this too, because when my son was in school, and I used to go up there, and we had the schools are locked down, so you got to press that button. To tell to get in. So I pressed the button, and after they buzz, you could still hear them. They would say, "The Christmas's mom is here."
Like they got an attitude.
I mean,
like they irritated you coming. Like what?
Now I was coming in here on peace, but I see I'm gonna have to come in here on violence. And so that's when I used to get turned, because I go right in there and I say, "Now, what was the purpose of you announcing that I'm here?"
The Christmas's mom is here.
Because baby, we finna get some stuff together. Do you understand?
They announcing.
And I like
sometimes here she come.
Yeah, because sometimes I would pick my kids up early if they had like doctor's appointments or something, whatever. And when they would do, I would walk right in there and say, "Now, why would you need to announce that I'm here?" That right there makes me nervous. And that's why I come in here, eat y'all ass up every time I come in here. I said, but for the record, not that it's any of your business, I'm here to pick my kids up early. I don't have nothing to say today. I make sure I tell today. Okay. But yeah, that used to make me so mad, because and not many parents advocate for their children, right?
Yeah,
So
they just like, "Oh, this is the
yeah, and I used to
rules.
tell
No,
them,
you don't do that.
I used
Don't."
to tell them when somebody advocate for their child, now y'all got an attitude. But y'all okay with saying the parents don't participate, and that's why the kids are like they are. Well, I'm a parent that's participating. So what's the problem? Yeah, you don't have an answer for
Look
that.
at Foxy too, Roxy.
What she say? My granddaughter did a Black History on Garvey. They told her it was not accepted. My son went to the school. They said Garvey was about violence.
What? Isn't that Black History though?
Uh, couldn't she tell him that Marcus Garvey, was absolutely pardoned by Joe Biden? So mind your business.
Right. What are you talking about?
Now,
He's not accepted.
tell her to go to
Where
school. Tell her
where
to
is
go to
this at?
school and tell. Good morning, Jim C. Tell her to go to school and tell the people that Joe Biden pardoned Marcus Garvey. So, who about violence? Me right now. If you don't shut your mouth,
They be doing way too much at
that's
school.
crazy, insane.
That's
But
like way
that's the
too much.
time we live in.
Mm-mm.
All right, y'all. Y'all want to know what Ye had to say about? If there were several people that cracked me up about the Super Bowl, Kevin Durant was one of them. He said it meant nothing to him. Somebody in the comments said, "I'm absolutely not going to listen to anyone that don't brush their hair before the game."
Oh, they roasted him.
I said,
He got roasted.
you know what? The internet strikes again because y'all eating this man. I mean, they ate him up and down in those
In the
comments.
comments. Uh-uh.
I read those comments till I went to sleep. That's how I was like, these comments got me in a chokehold. Told that man, and he probably read them. Told that man, they're absolutely not gonna listen to him.
Because
He
you don't
don't
brush your
his
hair.
hair. Wasn't no lies detected. That's all I could tell you. But anyway, this is what Ye has had to say. Y'all think that this man is off and crazy. I don't have the same sentiment. Most rich people are eccentric. They have little quirks and things about them. And this is him. But I do think that after his mom passed away from that plastic surgery, something snapped in him. And I feel like he really needed to go to some intense counseling, which he did not do. But anyway, this is what Ye had to say. Come on, Jesus.
So, a few people have been asking me, like, what did you think of the Kendrick halftime show? And I really loved the show. It was my favorite halftime show since, like, a Michael Jackson era, which I kind of just barely remember. I just be seeing clips of it. And it was super simple. The flag was fresh when they did Be Humble, the way that people's heads was moving. I was just like shook. This is like super fresh, right? The man's voice control, all that. And of course, they built up the controversy on whether he's going to do the record. And then at the end, I saw people saying like this is the worst halftime show. And I'm just like, y'all, everybody I know that I talked to and realized that this is the best halftime show. And so this is my point right here. When I say one man's in jail, one superstar, one black superstar is in jail. The next black superstar is on stage. They take one rapper to take another rapper down. You got to remember, watch this. It's like Drake was almost like the new generation R. Kelly. The way R. Kelly had the radio and the smash and all that type of stuff. And then the idea that was put out in the Kendrick song is what R. Kelly is actually locked up for. Now, this information is out here. This could be used, right? And, they give Kendrick everything. He wins everything. Then he does this amazing Super Bowl commercial. I mean, not commercial, I'm sorry. Forwarding slip, shout out, go to easy.com. I didn't do that on purpose, bro. He does this amazing Super Bowl performance. And right after they say it's the worst Super Bowl performance. And I'm like, yo, this is what I've been saying. They use black people against each other. And when they're done with what their agenda is,
They
they're going
throw
to
them
kick you
away.
out. That's my perspective on it.
Okay.
They throw them away.
Thinking y'all
You're
still
right.
some thinking Jeezy don't know what he talking about? That he crazy?
I never thought Yeezy was crazy. I think he thinks like when somebody like Yeezy, he's on a higher intelligence type of you know, person. So it's a lot of times people are not, they don't understand what he's saying. But yeah, I think he's absolutely right. You know, I don't know if that was the plan, the ultimate plan, but yeah, I mean, we're versing against each other, and then the person, and we could, if you get into politics, Democrats use black folks, Republicans use black folks. We fighting against each other, and ultimately they both win. Besides us, they're like, oh, we done with these people. We don't need them no more. They serve their purpose.
I think the reason that EA is never taken seriously is because he, like I said, he's eccentric, and this dude comes on the camera dressed like a human condom. If you look
Girl, that only you would recognize that, because I did not recognize that. You said a human condom, but it's so funny because remember Isaiah Washington. You know Isaiah Washington that was on
yeah, the actor, right?
Yeah, the actor. It's so funny you said that, because he said, I'm going to spark controversy. I'm going to post D pics. And then he put Kanye West up there.
Crazy.
He's like, everybody post your D pics. So
see, look at him. Now he in the car. Why would he need to have this hoodie so tight around his head? That's so distracting for me. It's like, this is so distracting. But I digress. I feel like he made a lot of points. And I feel like people don't listen to him because of some of the things he do. Like he went to the Grammys and was turned away, but he went to the Grammys dressed as a priest or a minister, and his wife was naked.
Yeah.
And I said, remember you posted it, and I said, oh, this is state meets church. He was like, I know you were sitting there like, this girl's crazy. But that cracked me up because that's what I felt when I saw it.
He all fully clothed. Only thing he was missing was that white collar thing.
No, he had the white collar on.
Oh, he did. But he looked like a priest.
You didn't see Kai Cenat on the carpet when he came out of. They were in chromed out, I think, Maybachs and on the street, and they got out of the car, and Kai Cenat was like, "Yeah, is dressed as a minister." And then his wife was naked, and I was like, "This is the ultimate clashing of church and state. This is what he's saying. He in the wrong place to be doing demonstrations like this. The Grammys is absolutely not having this mess, and he was turned away. So, for me, he does a lot of things that have people discount what he's saying or not listen.
Take him serious.
It's like, the messenger, right? Yeah. It's the messenger with him. So for me, it's like he's entertainment, but he absolutely is very intelligent.
Yeah.
Very intelligent. It cracks me up. All right. Y'all know what time it is.
What I told you. I
told you when he went to go visit Trump, I said, oh no. He telling that who gonna travel all the way to Lamargo and not talk to this man about being pardoned? You lying. Like you just lying. Let's see this.
The Justice Department has just instructed federal prosecutors in the Southern District of New York to drop the bribery case against New York Mayor Eric Adams. Aaron Katersky joins us now in studio. Aaron, just tell us what you're learning.
This came in a letter from the acting number 2 official at the Justice Department, Emil Bovey. The letter simply directed federal prosecutors here in New York, Lindsay, to drop the charges against Mayor Eric Adams, who was scheduled to go on trial this spring, charged with corrupting his office by taking bribes in the form of luxury travel benefits and the like in exchange for official favors. The most prominent of which federal prosecutors said was interfering in trying to get the new Turkish consulate open before the FDNY was comfortable with the operating permits. But tonight, the number 2 official in the Justice Department has instructed federal prosecutors to drop the criminal charges against Mayor Adams. Still not clear how the federal prosecutor's office is going to respond, because any decision like that would have to go before a judge.
And so we know that Mayor Adams did go visit Donald Trump in Mar-a-Lago just a few weeks ago. Any known connection?
We don't know specifically what they discussed, and the mayor has been pretty coy about it, but I think there was no question he was pushing for a pardon or some kind of intervention by President Trump. Now, this comes way before the mayor even goes on trial. Was there any kind of quid pro quo? That we're not sure, but we know that Adams has been fairly quiet when it comes to issues like immigration or congestion pricing or other things where Trump may want to have some influence in New York where a different mayor may have outright stood in the way.
Quite a fascinating development. Aaron Katersky, our thanks to you.
Thanks, Lindsay.
You know what I think? I think Mayor Eric Adams better watch out, because they don't, you got some Trumpers there, but if Mayor Eric Adams just do an old switch and bait, and like he's going against, what he campaigned on basically, and you're a Democrat. I mean, he back in the day he was kind of conservative, but this is what you ran on, and this is how you got elected. And I could see Letitia James or Alvin Bragg having a field day with him.
They're out. Remember, isn't that the ones that Trump removed?
I thought he can't remove them because they're elected, right?
Yeah, I didn't think he could either. So that, those things are up in the air right now. For me, he's absolutely doing quid pro quo. He is asking for a pardon in lieu of allowing Donald Trump to do whatever he wants to do when it comes to the immigrants in New York. And there are a lot of them. And ICE has been on the move. There is this one content creator on YouTube. Man, there be 47,000, sometimes 150,000, because he be following the ICE raids around New York.
Okay.
And so they're absolutely on the move, and he hasn't, like that man said, he hasn't spoken, he hasn't said, and he hasn't stopped anything. Whereas here in the city of Chicago, the governor, the mayor, they all have said no. You see what I'm saying? So, there was absolutely some quid pro quo that took place when he went down there in exchange for his pardon. Now, the thing for me is you absolutely are corrupt. You absolutely have done some things that you probably need to be prosecuted for. And this will leave the door open for him to be able to run again, because he said he's running again.
Hopefully he won't get elected.
Hopefully these people are
that crazy.
Hopefully they're paying attention. Hopefully these immigrants that can vote are paying attention too. But that's where I think this takes us.
So Letitia James and Alvin Bragg, they're saying that the Justice Department stripped them of some of their security clearances.
Yeah, so they wouldn't have access to, some of the things. I think that this also is paving the way for that Diddy pardon.
You think? That would be disgusting.
I absolutely believe it. I absolutely believe it. Look at who he has been. He's been pardoning nothing but criminals lately. Convicted, signed, sealed. The governor, the ex-governor of Illinois, We'll talk about him at the end.
Okay.
Who pardoned him
What's the ex-governor?
yesterday?
Who's that?
We're going to talk about it at the end.
Okay.
We're almost done. Let's see. Okay. 1 dead and 4 injured after jets collide in Scottsdale, Arizona. Help me out with this plane thing, because I'm telling you, help me out with this plane thing. These 2 planes collided. It says 1 person is dead and 4 others are injured after a Bombardier Learjet 35A veered off the runway after landing at Scottsdale Airport and crashed into a Gulfstream 200 business jet that was parked on private property, according to the Federal Aviation Administration. According to initial reports, the Learjet's left main landing gear failed upon landing, leading to the collision. And so 1 person died, and there were some others injured. How many others? Yeah, some others injured. I don't know how many. 1 person died upon impact. Two individuals were in critical condition, and they were sent to local trauma centers. But yeah, this is becoming increasingly something that is happening. However, this crash happened after they landed, so I wouldn't say this had anything to do with the comp controllers, but what is happening with the maintenance on these planes? That's what I really think it stems from, the maintenance on these planes. And are we at a shortage of people who are supposed to do that?
So they crash into another plane?
On
the taxi?
That was parked. They veered off because the landing gear failed.
Okay.
And they veered off into a plane, I believe, that was parked. This is what they're saying. That was, parked there because their landing gear failed. And I'm thinking, wasn't that something that was supposed to be checked when they took off with the landing gear? All right. Lawsuits with Trump administration stretching Illinois Attorney General's resources. Well, I guess so, because you're commenting and you are prosecuting everything but Lil Stank down there in Dalton, Illinois. You putting everybody everywhere but where they should be. So I really don't care about your resources, because you're not working for the people. This right here says Illinois Attorney General Kwame Raoul announced this week he has joined yet another multi-state lawsuit against the Trump administration. Now, why are you over here joining these lawsuits when you got people right here in your own state that you need to be prosecuting? You over here minding somebody else's business. We don't need to be joining anything. We need to be prosecuting the people that's in this state, in this one.
I guess because they're doing the overhaul and they stop their NGO funding or USA funding. I guess they was getting money from that with some of the hospitals or some of the universities. Now they mad about it. So
well, here we are. We got one last story after this, and we're out of here. Trump considering Blagovic for ambassador to Serbia. This is the governor that he pardoned from Illinois. I think it was last night or yesterday. President Trump considering nominating former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich, who served 8 years in prison on corruption charges, 8 years, to be U.S. ambassador to Serbia, according to 2 people familiar with the discussions. Blagojevich, whose sentence was commuted by Trump in 2020, is also a former Democratic member of Congress. He has morphed into a strong political supporter of Trump and spoke to groups of Serbian Americans in 2024 to rally support for Trump. Blagojevic's father is from Serbia.
So he was out already then.
He was, but at the same time,
Okay.
he served 8 years for corruption in Illinois.
Okay, he paid his debt to society.
No, you still corrupt.
I mean,
You still
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think somebody pay their debt to society. If we're talking about like pedophiles or something, then maybe I'll feel different about it. But
No, conviction is a conviction for me. You are a suspect and you're still corrupt,
well,
especially
he's not a
these
suspect. He paid
politicians.
his debt to society.
No, convicted of 17 federal corruption charges.
It don't matter how many he's paid his debt to society. I mean,
No, for me, you ain't paid nothing to me, and for me, you never
but you're
should
not
be allowed to take any type of seat in politics. If you are corrupt in politics, you should never be allowed to move around in politics after that. Ever.
Well, he's not in politics. He's an ambassador. That's not necessarily politics, but
I don't see how it's not politics. You're speaking on behalf of the country, to whatever country you're ambassador for.
I truly believe if somebody paid their debt to society, I mean, if you get a pardon, you should be able to get a pardon.
Nah, you corrupt. He corrupt. He gonna always be corrupt. But this is what corrupt people do.
So you don't believe in second chances then?
For me, I feel like second chances are warranted in certain situations. Like I said, he paid his debts to society. I don't feel like he should be able to be in any type of political or government capacity if you are convicted of a political crime. That means your morals are off. Your decision making is off. If somebody offer you money, you'll take it.
So you're saying that I'm just gonna switch it over, not minus the corruption. Let's say alcoholic or a drug addict. They went through the 12-step program.
You comparing apples to oranges.
How's
The
that
drug
comparing?
addict or the alcoholic is absolutely having nothing to do with national or state policies.
What I'm getting at is you're saying that once a drug addict, always a drug addict. You
And
can't
they will
never
tell
trust
you that.
that
They
you
will tell
can't,
you that.
but you can't trust them.
But
You
they will
saying
tell you that.
you, yeah, they will tell you that, but you can't trust them.
And no, I wouldn't, because they will tell you that a recovering drug addict and alcoholic will
So
tell you that it's a daily decision for them not to take drugs.
So
Or
you
not
shouldn't.
to
They
drink
shouldn't get
alcohol.
hired at any places. They should be ostracized from society.
How are you comparing apples to oranges?
And even I'm just saying, if we're saying you're saying it's
No, you're
only
saying
certain
we're talking about a
individuals
crackhead.
warranted.
We're talking about a crackhead and an alcoholic who absolutely can't be compared to someone who is making governmental policies or shaping governmental policies. I mean, so you're saying a
I don't know
police
about
officer.
Siberia. I don't know how much that affects the
So
U.S.
you're saying a
government, but
police officer that was committed of manslaughter, or that shot someone, right? When they come out, if they serve time for manslaughter, you're saying they served their time, they should be allowed to be a police officer again.
I'm not necessarily saying that. I'm just saying he's
That's
not
what you're
acting
saying?
he's not acting as a governor.
No, but
So
that's what
you're
you're
just saying
saying.
he shouldn't have a job.
Not in politics. No, he shouldn't. Now he want to
I don't
go.
agree with
He
that.
want to go over there and own a McDonald's and own a Popeyes or own a Burger King or own a 7-Eleven or a Speedway or BP gas station. Knock yourself out. But in corruption, you have proven that you cannot be trusted. I don't care what type of time you served. You have proven that you cannot be trusted in a political setting. So Yeah, I don't want you to be without a job. I just don't want you to be moving around foreign dignitaries or politicians or shaping any type of political policy or having any influence over anyone that can.
Yeah, and I think ambassadors are just basically a messenger. I don't think
If that's
um
what you think, then that's fine. But it's absolutely not what they do. They do negotiate for the United States on the United States behalf. So they may, get into talks with them about whatever the president might send them for.
yeah, they're basically a messenger. They promote the US messages to whatever foreign country um
And for
that
me,
they're
that's not a position that you need to be in. That's just me. Now, why would you do that? Let me get to this last story. This is our last story. This one here cracked me up. This is Serena Williams at the Super Bowl.
hmm
She crip walked at the Super Bowl because Kendrick Lamar asked her to. She says that she got a call from Kendrick Lamar's camp, and they asked her to crip walk, and she's to not. They're not like us, not like us. And she said yes. Now the funny thing to me is that she is Drake's ex. She dated Drake. And so it was totally a subliminal diss. And I know she know that. It was a diss and it was trolling. And it was I think that was a pretty piece of being petty and trolling at the same time. That was genius. Um, Also, the man who produced Kendrick Lamar's show is from Chicago.
uh who's in it from Chicago?
The man who produced Kendrick Lamar's show, the
Oh,
Super
okay.
Bowl show, the
Oh, okay,
halftime show.
that's sweet.
He's from Chicago. But
What's his
so
name?
hold on. Did not put it in here, and I just saw it last night, and I didn't save it. Hold on.
I would if I was Serena, I wouldn't have did that. Now that I'm thinking about it, you all married and stuff. Well, who cares? I wouldn't even waste my energy on that.
That was hilarious to me. Um, but that she even danced to "They're Not Like Us," and it really is a diss to her husband as well. So it's absolutely funny to me. Oh my God, what is that man's name?
Just
I
say,
cannot find it. I'll have it next
okay.
time.
All right.
But yeah, but the guy who produced the show and helped him with the visuals, um, is from Chicago. I think it was genius too. That the actual stage was set out like the Squid Games. The
Yeah.
Squid Game.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. It was a lot of people liked the halftime show, and then some people didn't like it. I guess it all depends. Who was some people are not Kendrick Lamar fans, I guess, because you heard a lot of people talking about it.
there were so many threads. There were so many Facebook posts asking people what they thought about the Super Bowl
Mm-hmm.
halftime show,
Mm-hmm.
and there was some interesting um, comments, mostly from the white people that
Like
were
they didn't
saying,
like it.
yeah, and saying that they couldn't understand what he was saying, and
I didn't
um,
understand half of the stuff he was saying. I really tell you the truth. That's why I said, I made that post. Like I got to get out a dictionary to follow Kendrick Lamar. But I mean, I get the message, but I didn't understand some of the stuff he was saying. So, but that's why Kendrick Lamar is not really mainstream because he's one of those thought leaders.
Did you know
So,
that his name is trademark?
oh, Kendrick Lamar name is.
His name is trademark. You absolutely cannot uh, use his name. It's trademark.
I mean, why would you use his name? Like,
You know how some people do, the clickbaiting thing, and when people want to,
like make money off of it.
yeah,
Oh god.
So
Are you talking about K Dot is trademark or Kendrick Lamar is trademark?
Kendrick Lamar is trademarked with the U.S. Patent Office.
Oh god.
Definitely is. Oh, I have one last story. This is it. Ex-New York Giant player is helping deported migrants in Guatemala, blames Biden for the problem. Former New York Giants safety Jack Brewer tells Fox News Digital he is in Guatemala helping the return of deported migrants to the country and uncovering lies they've been told. I hope this is the story. Brewer Foundation are on the ground this week to help deportees. He blames Biden for the crisis.
If you guys want to know the ramifications of our open border policies the last 4 years, I'm here in Guatemala, and I'm seeing it firsthand. You got kids getting off these planes. People don't even know where they are. It's terrible, man. It's terrible what these open border policies did, not just to our nation, but to people all over the world. People that are confused, didn't know if it was true that they could go places. Some of these folks have no education. And so they were just listening to people getting taken advantage of by coyotes, people getting hurt, killed, and murdered. Heard a story about 16 people getting burned alive. This stuff is real, man. And thank God that our new administration is setting some order. And we need a lot of prayer, saints. A lot of prayer.
This is the place where the people that is being deported is being taken from the airplane. They will be accommodated over here in order for them to be taking care of each of one of them on the windows so they can be identified as Guatemalan. That's the procedure because previous of that, if they were not be Guatemalan, they could be asking ICE to take them back on the plane, and they used to do it. So from now on, it has to be implemented a new procedure, right? But they will be identified with their ID number, with everything that would be here in Guatemala. And in case if they have any legal trouble or any processes, here's the office of the National Police, so they could be taken care in custody if it is necessary. And inside we have the whole other doctors and everything else.
Yeah, Guatemalan officials they raided. Um, there's a nonprofit organization that deports or accept Guatemalans to the U.S. And they said right now they have 150,000 kids that's missing, and they know they're over here somewhere, but um, it's just a bunch of corruption, and it's through the Guatemalan government and the U.S. government. They are claiming, and guess who's over the board of this nonprofit organization? Was a question.
Oh, I'm sure you're gonna tell us.
Jill Biden. They said Jill Biden is over the board, and what the problem was before I guess Trump got into office, they raided the place in Guatemala, and then they tried to coordinate the efforts because I guess the it's called Safe Kids or some I forget what the organization is called. But anyway, they tried to coordinate the efforts in the US, but not Governor Paxton, Senator Paxton. I think he's a Texas senator. He was afraid to uh coordinate the efforts of raiding a place, because he said he was afraid of backlash from the government. Not necessarily the government, but the Justice Department. So, but yeah, they said right now there's 150,000 kids, Guatemalan kids, that are missing, and they feel like they're over here in the U.S.
Well,
Ryan Mayet, Myletta, he does a lot of research on Guatemalan refugees and missing children. So he's done a lot of, and he's been researching it for years. Matter of fact, he's afraid to come back to the U.S. I think he was like in El Salvador because they can't extradite him, but he's been doing all his reports. He'll go over to Guatemala, get whatever information, then he'll travel back to El Salvador and does his streaming online or whatever.
right.
Mhm.
Well, I'm glad that Guatemala has some sort of system in place. Looks like to me that they are, for me, the most organized country as far as receiving their people back into their country. Because some of these other places, they're either refusing. Who was that refused? I think it was the Venezuelan.
Venezuelan or somewhere like that. You're
Right.
right.
So
Yeah.
because they are refusing because they don't have any type of system in place to take back. And so, yeah, I'm just glad that they have a system, and this administration is putting in place certain things. So this hopefully will get worked out, however it works out.
Yeah. Yeah, hopefully, and hopefully they'll find the kids, because I think it's not just Guatemalan kids that's missing. It's like 365,000 kids. I think that was the last count that is missing in the US, that the governor, or the federal government doesn't know where the kids are, so, and so it's human trafficking. um they're probably exploiting them, children to be working at some plant, and they're not old enough to work at plants or whatever. So
Wow, yeah, that's a lot. I think we'll see what happens in the coming time.
yeah.
But you got a show today?
Yeah, I do, at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock
1 o'clock.
today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna do a show this evening. Probably might be today is what, Wednesday?
Yeah,
I'm gonna try
Wednesday. Yeah.
in a decent amount of time, right?
Mhm.
Because I got a few things I need to do. But if you have not followed Shawan Burns on YouTube and Unpopular Opinion on YouTube, please do that. And my channel is All in the Queue. Please do that. Jim, absolutely not.
Woo, 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 woo.
Here we go.
Woo, woo.
Oh my God. Jim, we was smooth sailing. We was smooth sailing this morning. I mean, we coasted right on in there. We're going to try to save these singing events for Friday, because that's the runaround.
That's the runaround.
And she can run around them notes that she can't find all day. Okay? All day.
I'm going to find them notes.
Again, I said I'm going to say this every time we're on the air. If you're in Dalton and you're listening to us, please get out and early vote. If you go to the post section on my YouTube page, I have listed there the times for the Calumet City Library. The reason why I'm telling you to go to the Calumet City Library, Jim C. said thank you, is because if you are afraid, security is set up there. The Calumet
Why
mayor,
would they be afraid? Because
people
the
are.
mayor
First of all, because
harassing
Lil
people?
Steak be having Deacon Dum Dum and Leotis and Krigley knocking on people's doors.
Oh, Krigley is knocking on people's doors and
Yes,
threatening
girl.
people.
I don't know if he's threatening people, but he's knocking on people's doors. I don't know what they're saying,
Okay.
but after this brawl, these older people, they should be concerned, and they should, right? Because they saw him kick somebody in the head for absolutely no reason, then jump on the table and assault a TV for no reason.
That TV
So
didn't do nothing to you.
I'm thinking, what did the TV do?
Right.
The TV looked at you, looked back at you. You looked at the TV, saw yourself, and said, "Nigga, I'm coming." So, I feel like, if they are, and some people were afraid of this administration, period, go to the Calumet City Library during early voting. That mayor in Calumet City, baby, listen, if you pick up that phone and you say, call 911, you say, somebody on Lil Stank crew is bothering me, I ain't gonna tell you how fast the police gonna get there. Okay? Because he do not like Lil Stank. Okay? He do not like her, period. Okay? So go to the Calumet City Library. You can go to the Markham Courthouse. It's gonna be a lot. You're gonna have to go through those metal detectors. And I'm gonna tell you right now, those people are not the smartest. So save yourself some stress. Okay, and just go to the Calumet City Library. You may even get to see the Clean House 2025 slate actually in action over there. For all of the seniors that need a ride, Brittany Norwood was on live saying to send the Dalton Trustees page a message, or to
provide transportation.
Yes, or to
That's
contact
good.
one of the trustees or Dr. Nikita, and they have transportation if you need it.
That's good.
And what else? So early voting from now until February 24th. On February 25th, this is our last day to get out. If your voting place is Vandenberg, that voting place is closed. You will need to go to Diekman Elementary, which is on Dorchester and Sibley, right behind Dalton Bowl. Diekman Elementary. Okay? Get out and early vote, though, so you don't stress. Get out there. Early vote. Okay? Absolutely going to say this on every broadcast. All right. That's it. I'm done. 3 minutes to spare. Anything you got to say? Parting words?
You guys stay safe. Anybody that's will be affected by the winter storm. So stay safe. You guys have a wonderful day.
Absolutely. If you don't have to go out, don't.
Política en opinión.